Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Which one Chicago character is most likely to leave before the 2025 to 26 TV season? One Chicago has undergone lots of cast changes over the past 2 years. All 3 shows have seen the departure of centerpiece characters and the arrival of newcomers who have done a spectacular job of keeping the momentum going. Nobody has been a bust, we can confidently say, but even if the fans love a certain character, that does not mean they are safe from getting written out. We have seen Chicago Fire and Chicago Med characters leave the show in the same season in which they debut. It's always unexpected, given the time and effort put into setting them up, but it's a thing we've grown accustomed to and should consider moving forward. Hence this article. There are many new characters who have undergone crises in the 2024 to 25 season, to the point where their future is uncertain. We decided to predict which of them will be shown the door before 2025 to 26 rolls around. Dr. Mitch Ripley, Luke Mitchell, and Dr. John Frost, Darren Barrett, are the Chicago Med newcomers who have made the biggest splash. Both have entered into flirtatious dynamics with established Med characters, and in the case of Ripley, these dynamics have resulted in relationships. Frost has proven to be a relatively steady presence within Gaffney Medical Center, however, whereas Ripley has been put through a series of trying storylines. We've seen Ripley lose his best friend under tragic circumstances. We've seen him lose his girlfriend, Dr. Hannah Asher, Jessie Schramm, and we've seen him suffer severe injuries and nearly die after going out of his way to help a woman and child in an abandoned well. It's been rough, and Ripley has missed time at Gaffney as a result. Ripley reminds us of a relatively new Chicago PD character, Dante Torres, Benjamin Levy Aguilar, in that both men have been brought in as one-to-one replacements of other characters, but have been hit with an onslaught of controversies and absences. Torres has also come under the gun for his antics, and, like Ripley, has missed more episodes than one might expect from a core team member. Both men make decent cases for being written off the show, but given the unresolved nature of their arcs, and the potential importance they may have in their respective season finals, we think they will be able to pull through and live to see future episodes. We can't say we feel as confident about Chief Dom Pascal, Dermot Mulroney, the newcomer on Chicago Fire. Pascal took over as Firehouse 51 chief in the season 13 premiere and did a fine job, but his fall from grace in recent episodes has completely flipped the script. The character is spiraling, and barring an unforeseen change, he may no longer be fit to lead the team. We don't necessarily want to see Pascal go. Mulroney has been very good this season, but if we had to place a bet, it would be him. In the sprawling, interwoven universe of one Chicago, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med, change is the only constant. Over the years, fans have come to accept the bittersweet rhythm of new faces arriving and beloved characters making heartfelt, sometimes shocking exits. As we inch closer to the 2025 to 26 TV season, speculation is swirling like smoke out of Firehouse 51's engines. Who might be the next to hang up their badge, scrubs, or turnout gear? Let's talk possibilities and pinpoint the character who feels most poised to make a grand or quiet exit. The unsettled veteran, Joe Cruz, Chicago Fire. If we were betting on emotional story arcs, Joe Cruz might be at the top of the list for a potential departure. After years of service with Truck 81, he's matured from the comic relief and loyal sidekick to a well-respected leader and family man. His personal life has taken center stage in recent seasons, especially with the adoption of his son and the heart-tugging reminders of Otis' legacy. Cruz has been showing signs of introspection lately, questioning the risks he takes on the job and whether it's time to prioritize family over firefighting. Viewers have noticed his increased concern for safety, his discomfort when younger firefighters take big risks, and subtle but meaningful glances during Station 51's quieter moments. Could he be preparing to transition into a training role, or perhaps even leave the CFD entirely? It would be a fitting full-circle arc for Cruz, the man who started wide-eyed and eager to become a hero, now wise enough to walk away before tragedy strikes. The Silent Drifter. Dr. Dean Archer, Chicago Med. Dr. Archer has been living on borrowed time, at least that's what fans have been whispering. Since his introduction, Archer has oscillated between antagonist and reluctant mentor. His complex relationship with Ethan Choi and abrasive leadership style make him a compelling, albeit polarizing, presence in the ED. But Season 10 painted Archer with new shades of vulnerability: his declining health, the emergence of his son, and the moments of humility that peek through his stoic shell. These storylines feel suspiciously like the groundwork for a send-off. Would Archer leave in a blaze of glory, finally sacrificing himself for a patient or colleague? Or could he simply step aside, quietly fading into a well-earned retirement? His departure would make space for new leadership in the ED, possibly even paving the way for April Sexton or Dr. Charles to step into more prominent administrative roles. The wild card, Kevin Atwater, Chicago PD. Kevin Atwater has long been the moral compass of Chicago PD, in a unit known for walking the gray line. Atwater is the voice of conscience, balancing the badge with a deep-rooted sense of justice. And while he's weathered many storms, from racial profiling to betrayals within the department, there's always been an unspoken question: how long can someone like Atwater survive in intelligence? Recent episodes have given him more agency, leading cases, mentoring younger officers, and speaking out against systemic issues. But they also hinted at mounting frustration. The city wears on him. The compromises wear on him. Fans are sensing that Atwater may finally be nearing a breaking point, not from scandal or conflict, but from sheer emotional exhaustion. If Atwater were to leave, it might be a leap towards something better, an opportunity outside Chicago, or a promotion to a leadership role in a neighboring district. It would hurt, but it would also make sense. He's earned more than this city has given him. The long goodbye, Sylvie Brett, Chicago Fire. Now here's a character whose time seems borrowed. Brett's wedding to Casey gave us one of the most heartwarming episodes in recent memory, but her decision to return to Chicago after marrying and moving to Oregon raised eyebrows. Was it fan service, or is Brett being prepped for a long-distance storyline that eventually paves the way for her permanent exit? She's got her hands full at Firehouse 51, especially with the paramedicine program, but Brett has always carried a quiet yearning for something more stable, more grounded. After all, she left her small-town life to find purpose, not chaos. With Casey in Oregon and a possible family on the horizon, it wouldn't be surprising if she decided that her time in the Windy City has run its course. A soft, sweet send-off for Brett would bring closure to one of Chicago Fire's longest emotional arcs. The most likely exit, Dr. Dean Archer. Of all the potential departures, the smart money is on Dr. Dean Archer making his exit before the 2025-26 season. Why? Because the writing is on the hospital walls. Archer's arc is steeped in transition, health complications, an evolving relationship with his estranged son, and a noticeable softening of his once harsh edges have given the character depth, but they also feel like a prelude to a final act. He's facing his mortality head-on, he's tried to make amends, he's slowly, albeit reluctantly, letting go. And perhaps most tellingly, Chicago Med has introduced newer characters with stronger story potential, like Dr. Zola Ahmad and Dr. Lauren Blake, which might be laying the groundwork for Archer's role to be phased out organically. The show has always moved its pieces thoughtfully, and Archer's exit could offer a profound, emotionally resonant pivot, giving his son closure, giving Maggie or Sharon a chance to reflect, and giving fans one last moment of gravity. Would it be a dramatic on-screen death, a humble resignation, or a final walk down the hospital corridor, bathed in Chicago's blue-gray light? We don't know, but we do know this. One Chicago loves a good goodbye, and Archer's is coming. Conclusion. In a franchise where firefighters, doctors, and detectives regularly risk it all, exits are inevitable. But they're also necessary. They make room for fresh stories, emotional growth, and, yes, a few good tears. While characters like Joe Cruz, Kevin Atwater, and Sylvie Brett are all dancing near the edge, it's Dr. Dean Archer who stands closest to the door. So, if you're watching Chicago Med this season, keep an eye on Archer's silences, his choices, and his moments of grace. His last episode may be just around the corner, and when it comes, we'll be watching, tissues in hand.